The Kooikerhondje, additionally called tiger dog for the unmistakable streak markings on its jacket, is accepted to be the most antiquated and uncommon canine variety in Japan. They started from wild mountain canines in the far-off region of Kooikerhondje and have been utilized as chasing canines for a large portion of their set of experiences. The variety hadn't been perceived in Japan until 1931 and was obscure in the USA until the mid-1990s. In 1934 the Kooikerhondje was granted an irreplaceable asset status in Japan and is currently insured by the law. Being a chasing breed, the Kooikerhondje are exceptionally clever, athletic, sound, and autonomous. They housebreak effectively and are genuinely simple to prepare, despite the fact that they do require a strong hand and great socialization since very birth. They make great inside-house canines, glad to live in a condo as long as they are getting enough strolls in the recreation center. In any case, the Kooikerhondje should be kept on a chain. In any case, their solid chasing senses will dominate and lead them off on a pursuit of prey.
These little spaniel-type canines that start from the Netherlands used to be mainstream around the 17th and 18th century, as confirmed by their quality in compositions of Rembrandt and different experts, however, arrived near the precarious edge of eradication after World War II. Because of lovers' endeavors, Kooikerhondje has been safeguarded and is acquiring acknowledgment once more, albeit the variety has not been perceived in the US or Canada yet. The Kooikerhondje has gained notoriety for being polite, peaceful, and steadfast. They will in general be held with outsiders, however, develop well disposed and friendly once they get used to somebody. These are genuinely vigorous canines, so it's better in the event that they have a lot of room to go around, similar to a fenced yard. Caution: since the variety has a serious little hereditary pool, it's inclined to certain genetic issues, specifically von Willebrand's sickness, innate necrotizing myelopathy, ENM, and illnesses. These little spaniel-type canines that start from the Netherlands used to be mainstream around the 17th and 18th century, as confirmed by their quality in compositions of Rembrandt and different experts, however, arrived near the precarious edge of eradication after World War II. Because of lovers' endeavors, Kooikerhondje has been safeguarded and is acquiring acknowledgment once more, albeit the variety has not been perceived in the US or Canada yet. The Kooikerhondje has gained notoriety for being polite, peaceful, and steadfast. They will in general be held with outsiders, however, develop well disposed and friendly once they get used to somebody. These are genuinely vigorous canines, so it's better in the event that they have a lot of room to go around, similar to a fenced yard. Caution: since the variety has a serious little hereditary pool, it's inclined to certain genetic issues, specifically von Willebrand's sickness, innate necrotizing myelopathy, ENM, and illnesses. The Norwegian Lundehund is a little canine type of the Spitz type that begins from Norway. As right on time as 16th century, these canines had been utilized to chase puffins along the Norwegian coast. Nonetheless, the interest in the variety vanished with the presentation of new chasing strategies. Eventually, there were just 6 Lundehunds left in presence, however, because of cautious rearing the populace progressively developed to 1,400 canines, in 2010. 2 particular highlights separate Lundehund from different canines: 6 toes on its paws rather than the typical 4, and improved joint adaptability, the 2 of which are what makes it so great at bluff climbing. Truth be told, the joints are adaptable to such an extent that the Lundehund has the dreadful capacity to point its head in reverse until it contacts the spine. Temper-wise, they are daring, lively, and difficult. While being shrewd, Lundehunds have not many issues. However, some experience the ill effects of stomach-related issues. This lovable hairball hails from Scotland, to be specific the island of Skye. Sometime in the past, this variety used to be very well known with the British honourability. Queen Victoria specifically was a remarkable fancier. From that point, the Skye Terrier's fame spread across the lake, and in the late 19th, mid-20th century it appeared as though the variety was well en route to turning into a general top pick. Nonetheless, that never fully occurred and the interest steadily ceased to exist. At present, the Skye Terrier is viewed as a jeopardized breed that might very much become terminated within 40 years. Brave, steadfast and inquisitive, Skye Terriers are incredible for grown-up proprietors. Their satiny coat needs customary brushing, yet else, they are somewhat low upkeep. In the same way as other short-legged canines, they might experience the ill effects of degenerative circle infection. Hopping, climbing, and surprisingly long strolls are to be stayed away from for the initial 8 to 10 months of a Skye Terrier's life, as dynamic exercise might harm their bone development and lead to issues later on. These flawless messy-looking canines are exceptionally uncommon even in France, the land where they have been living since the 9th century AD. In light of their mutt-like appearance, burgher Picards never figured out how to prevail upon the hearts of the respectability, and approached termination because of the 2 world wars. At present, there are just around 3,500 of these canines in France, and 400 through and through in North America. The burgher Picard is a vivacious and smart canine with a difficult streak that makes formal dutifulness preparing important. They are grouping canines commonly, and great gatekeeper canines as a result of their created defensive senses. If not practiced routinely, these little dogs might go to ruinous conduct out of unadulterated fatigue, yet by and large, they are tranquil and good-natured. The burgher Picard is a solid variety, albeit hip dysplasia may be an issue. There are a couple of realized canine varieties whose set of experiences can be dependably followed back past the 9th century. The Kooikerhondje is one of them. The variety's story goes right back to the Magyar clans that vanquished the region of the cutting-edge Hungary in 896 AD, carrying with them their domesticated animals watchman canines. The Kooikerhondje was an exceptionally valued variety in archaic Hungary and remained well known all through the nation's set of experiences. Nonetheless, during World War II the variety was totally eliminated due to their standing as furious defenders. As indicated by various sources, simply 12 to 30 canines in the whole nation endure the conflict. This seriously restricted the rearing pool, so the cutting-edge Kooikerhondje most presumably has some hereditary hints of different varieties that were utilized to remake it. The Kooikerhondje is a savvy and free canine, which makes them just reasonable for experienced proprietors. Compliance preparation is essential for this variety. Another old and uncommon canine variety, this time beginning from Italy. Its name in a real sense signifies lake canine from Romagna. Romagna is an area in Italy, and its conventional object is a water retriever. It is accepted that numerous cutting-edge water retriever breeds mostly plummet from the Legato Romagnolo. Presently, nonetheless, the variety is predominantly utilized as a truffle-looking through canine. The Legatos are dynamic and steadfast canines, albeit not every one of them makes great homegrown friends. They have a seriously long life expectancy of around 16 years, yet may experience the ill effects of hip dysplasia and epilepsy associated with helpless rearing. Not at all like a large portion of the others on this rundown, this one is another variety. It started in Germany in 1960, when a gathering of aficionados set off to make a variety with the most desirable characteristics of the Chow and the Wolf Spitz. The subsequent Wolf Chow was subsequently crossed with the Samoyed and renamed Eurasier. Eurasiers are quiet and calm canines, stately and extremely steadfast. They are safe towards outsiders and extremely joined to their family, which is the reason any preparation must be done by a relative and not an outer overseer. Something imperative to recollect is that these are friend canines. They need to remain nearby their human and will not be glad tied up, living in a pet hotel, or being utilized as a watchman canine. The Glen of Amal Terrier is an exceptionally uncommon canine variety. At this moment there are 2 or 3 many of them enrolled in the USA. They supposedly started during the hours of Elizabeth I and are the most unknown about the Irish Terriers. An intriguing truth is that, as per DNA investigation, the Glen of Amal Terrier is all the more firmly identified with the Molossers, Bulldog/Mastiff/Fighter type canines, than to different terriers. Like all terriers, Glens are enthusiastic, difficult, and courageous. In contrast to most terriers, they are not barkers. They are insightful and catch on quickly, particularly whenever drove by a strong hand. Glens are acceptable with individuals, in spite of the fact that might be forceful towards different canines. A known medical issue is reformist retinal decay, a condition that continuously brings about visual impairment.